Hey there, Rick with West Coast Overland here, and I'm just finishing packing up. So, I'm gonna take you guys on an adventure over to Stanley, Idaho. Another one of my favorite places that I don't get to visit often, but I think you guys will like it. So why don't you come along with me? Got the Jeep packed up, and the only thing we don't have very much of is daylight. So, got a few goodies here for this evening's cooking session. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be about a 3-hour drive, mostly on River Road, to get to Stanley. We'll overnight there, and then in the morning, after some cinnamon rolls from the Stanley Bakery, we'll head off to Beaver Creek and do the loop down through Sunbeam Mine. So it should be a good adventure. I hope you stick around. Check it out. We've got about 2 hours of daylight left before that sun dips below the mountaintops. Decided to pass Stanley. It is Labor Day weekend and there's going to be a lot of people. I tried Redfish Lake and everything was full. So I came up a lesser known canyon, camped out right next to the river, to the creek here, and it's beautiful. You can probably hear it in the background. I'll show you in the morning, but I'm happy to be here. Hopefully you guys are too. That was really fun, but I consumed half of the battery's life just bringing it up to altitude and then going down the tree line a little bit and then coming back. So I'm going to conserve it because I don't have a way to charge Alpha 110 plug with me. That's one of the modifications that I need to perform on this vehicle, but maybe we can get some power in town while we drink a cup of coffee and eat a cinnamon roll. Well, crew, the Jeep is about all packed up, so we're gonna head back into Stanley and then stop off there for the bakery, grab a coffee and a cinnamon roll, and then continue on towards Banner Summit, where we'll turn off on Seafoam Road and take that all the way up to a peak of about 9,900 feet. So our destination is about close to 10,000 this afternoon and evening, and we'll see how well we do while we get up there. I always like to perform a walk around, make sure that there's nothing hanging off or not quite right packed before I... All right, everything looks good. that, my friends, is why they call this the Sawtooth Mountain Range. It's just jagged peak after 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 peak. Pretty cool.
I don't think 50% up? Okay.
You know, maybe the kids acting out, they don't act out.
Oh, where did you at?
Like, it didn't work in the morning.
So we're currently in Stanley, Central Idaho. We're gonna take Highway 75 up towards Banner Summit and then branch off on Sea Farm Road. And Sea Farm Road is gonna take us up Beaver Creek, up to Pinion Creek, Lost Packer Mine, and then down through Sunbeam and back to Highway 75, headed back home towards Challis and Salmon. So should be a fun time. I just got fueled up with cinnamon rolls, coffee, and pancake, bacon, and eggs at the Stanley Bakery. I would have shown it to you, but I hate being that guy sitting at a table with a whole bunch of people around him taking pictures of his food. So let's jump in. Let's get out of here. So we're at this intersection right here, Fire Road 008, Fire Road 172. This is the Beaver Creek turnoff that we talked about, and that takes us up towards Loon Creek Guard Station. But before we get there, I think we're going to try and stop at Lost Packer Mine. So I've been on this track for about half an hour, taking my time. Still kind of in the valley bottom, and there's a lot of other campers here. I can hear a trailer over there with a generator running. So I'm going to try and get up to the high country, which is my proposed route, and get away from the crowds. I don't like people. I do like people. I just don't like camping near people. I like to have the wilderness to myself. But it is a beautiful day and Jeep's running great, so let's keep on trucking. Not advised for trailers or cars. Perfect. Despite this road being as rough as it is, I'm still seeing camper trailers that are parked along different dispersed campsites in the area, so that leads me to believe that these people are either really determined or I'm just not far enough in. So I say we keep on trekking and try and get away from the crowds. The roughness of the track is getting a lot slower. Definitely Jeep country. Jeep shines in these kind of bouldery, washed out sections. Haven't needed to put it in 4-wheel drive yet, but we still have a lot of trail ahead of us, so we'll find out. I think we've been successful. So this is the first opportunity for soft soil, this little mud pit right here, and there are no fresh tracks, no fresh truck or Jeep tracks. The only thing that's actually here is like ATV tracks, but they don't look very fresh compared to what I just put down. So we're successfully avoiding people on the Beaver Creek Trail. Beaver Creek Trail will take us up to the summit. Lost Trapper Mine is our next destination. There's Cliff Creek right there off the Beaver Creek Road. Still got a long way to go to Lost Packer Mine, but at least we have waypoints. We know how far along the track we are. What can I say? This place is so awesome. Central Idaho, the Sawtooth Wilderness. I think we're currently in the Salmon Challis / Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness, which is interesting because there's a road that cuts right through it. So if anybody here is familiar with wilderness rules, you're not supposed to have any motorized or mechanical equipment. And I do remember seeing a sign back about an hour or two ago that showed anything 300 feet off of this road is considered wilderness. So this is kind of an interesting thing. Not a lot of wilderness areas have a road that just cuts right through it. And when I say wilderness, I mean the quote-unquote wilderness on the map. It's supposed to be completely untouched by man, with very few, improvements. However, in the past, they cut roads in for mines or for logging, any sort of resource management type thing. But I think we're lucky to be here. It's a great spot. I think we have arrived. Pulled up onto this flat off of the main road. Found ourselves a really nice little campsite that's already kind of been established. So I came up these switchbacks and then Kidney Lakes. I passed a lake right there on the side of the road, and then I came up just the tiniest little bit. So that puts us kind of right here at this little bench. And we still have a bit to go to the peak and then to Lost Packer Mine, but that's okay. It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been at it since about noon. 3 hours of bouncing around. Still really fun, but That way I'll set up camp. I'll show you guys how to make some delicious salsa, which I've been excited about. And we're just not rushing. And I've got all day to get back tomorrow. So let's stay here. So I'm gonna set up some camp. Hopefully this active track system keeps up with me. I think it will. Cool. So when I set up, I like to use these grabber tarps. They're really handy. They've got the Mylar backing and then just regular tarp on the other side. So they do provide a little bit of insulation, which is great. And with my setup, I like to fold it in half. Now you can either use this as a ground tarp or you can even use it as a makeshift shelter in the event that you don't have anything else. Having a tent with a rainfly really does provide a lot of extra insulation from the elements. It is going to be clear. There is no weather forecasted for this area, so I'm not really worried about rain, but the fly kind of traps some of that warm air that you produce through the night and prevents it from just completely disappearing out into the atmosphere. So.